You're back. Me too. Hi. Come on in. Y'all come on in. Come set a spell with us. Her Highness is curled up next to the sweater I have on the couch because we went out for an early morning walk and it was only in the 40s. So it was a little bit chilly for me. She wore her sweater. Now she's down for the count for a little while. Cold air always knocks her out, or the fresh air knocks her out. She's just like a kid, right? And how are you? How has your week been so far? I got my coffee to warm me up, and today we're going to do a bundle battle. What does that mean? That means I have an order from a new candy shop that I have not seen, that you have not seen before. I haven't brought you before. I've been going there for the past couple of months just watching before I made a purchase. And then we have another box from the candy store that I introduced you to. Wow, I'm tired. I can't talk. The candy store that I introduced you to a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago. Anyway, so we're going to see, how do they measure up? What do you get from each of these shops for $9.21 shipping? Is it worth it? What their variety is like, what their prices are like, their shipping, the whole big star rating criteria that I use. We're going to do a comparison and we're going to see how they measure up. That way you can make a decision as to where you want to shop. Is that okay? All right. And then I have some news for you about tiny home living and what's going on just around the corner. I promised I would keep you posted. So let's get in to this first box. This is a standard size USPS flat rate box. This is from Candybundlez, and I'll put the information up here on the screen for you. Candybundlez does things in cases. Preset boxes of this size for $9.21. And I'm going to explain this to you. They do everything by the box. So you can buy what's in this box. You can wait to see what's in the next box. You can ask them for whatever is in a different box. But one box, $9.21 each box, not per the show. Okay? All right. Let's take a look and see what I got at Candybundlez. These are a little bit different. Now, admittedly, I thought of my friend Anthony. You know, he has 2 daughters, and I love to do things for his daughters when I can. I immediately thought of them and Easter coming up. And I know that he's very meticulous about what he gives them, and he's very cautious about what he gives them. But Easter is coming. Okay. So what I got is 6 bags of Reese's dipped animal cookies. Each of these bags is 8.5 ounces. So they're not a snack size bag, they're a family size bag. And I've got 6 bags. Each of these bags sells for $5.99. So say $6. So I've got $36 retail value on these bags. I paid $22 for this box. So I saved $14. Then I paid $9.21 shipping. So I saved about $4 and change, as opposed to getting these from the store or getting these, well, from any store or online or Amazon, or getting them on sale. So to me, was it worth it? Not a big enough savings. This is the only thing I got from them. They had a lot of hard candy. The super, super sweet, crunchy like Jolly Ranchers and lollipops and all those big things that you buy in bulk. But everything was in one box of this size. And this was actually, believe it or not, this didn't come up until the very end of the show. And this was actually the very last box that they ran. I had been he had a bin, but it didn't have a lot of things in it. It just had the bundle box in it. But while he was running the other stuff, I was off looking at other candy shops and what they had. And when he came up with these, I already knew, excuse me, that these retailed for about $6 a bag. So I thought I would end up getting a better deal. I didn't. $22 was a lot, but I did not intend to spend $22. There was some competition for him when he started running it. It was only $12. That would have been a great deal because that would have been like buy 2 bags, get 4 bags free. But again, speed swipes happened. And other people in the auction that were bidding, we all swiped at the same time thinking that we might have been going up to $14. And the next thing you know, it jumps to $22. Well, thank you for protecting me, Miss Nala. I don't know if you can see her, but she's going nuts over something. Oh, it's just somebody getting their mail. Good girl. Good job. All right. Okay, all done. All done. All done. All done. She is a protector. I do feel safe. So I had watched several of their shows, and I had been in this show for the entirety. And I had to make a decision. I bid, and I was like, oh, crap. When it just automatically jumped by $10. I saved a little bit. It was not worth it to me to save. You have to be aware that that's going to happen because one of the things that this particular shop does is they sell by the case. And each case has its own items in it. They don't mix things. They don't take 2 or 3 bags of this and put it in a box and maybe 2 or 3 bags of Twizzlers or 2 or 3 bags of Hershey's or 2 or 3 bags. They make up a box as they go. Everything is pre-made. So let's take a quick look at how I would rate them with the stars going by my criteria. Shipping speed and packing. All right, this was from a show on February 2nd, and I received this on February 5th. Quick, 3 days. Considering the show was, on a Monday, and I got it just, they didn't have any need to pack because everything was already in the boxes. All they did was have to seal up the box. He wrote a number on the top of the box, which was my purchase number, so to speak, my sale number. And then they slapped the sticker on it. So it doesn't have to go through any kind of crazy packaging or handling, anything along those lines. So he'll get a full star for that. Communication. He was very good at letting everybody know that it was $9.21 per box, not per show. He was very good at answering the chat. If somebody said, do you have this? Do you have that? He gave an immediate response. Yes, we have it. No, we have it. Or we had it and we're out of it. So communication was very good. I'll give him a full star for communication. The price of the shipping and the prices of the items. The price of the shipping, considering he does it flat rate and he does the full box, I would say the price of the shipping actually is high because the $9.21 is for up to 5 pounds, but the $9.21 is for the size of the box. And these 6 things could have been packed in a much smaller box and not have cost $9.21. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, that's standard for whatnot. No, it's not. If you go into any of the shops that I have reviewed and that are they're listed down in the description box, many of those shops do not charge the $9.21 up front. They realize that people may not buy anything that has a weight worth of $9.21. They may only buy some jewelry, and that would only be a couple of bucks. Or they may buy a small handbag, a clutch, a wristlet, something like that. And that would not have value. So a lot of them do reduced shipping where you only pay a part of it up front and then the rest. And many of them that I refer you to do $9.21 for the entire show. So I'm on the fence with this because, and I'm going to be very fair about this, $9.21 per box. If the box is half empty like this one was, that's too much. But $9.21 per case, if the box is full, that's a good deal. All right. So in my case, the price of the shipping was too high. But for many of the other cases that he sold that were full to the brim, the price of the shipping per box is reasonable. And the prices of the items, well, when you break it down, $22 for 6 bags of dipped animal cookies. That's high. He started them at $12, which was $2 a bag. That was good, right? And it just it went crazy with the speed bids. So did I pay a reasonable price? No. But once you bid, you can't unbid when that happens. You can't cancel simply because of the speed swipes. That's a no-no. That's not allowed. So I'm kind of on the fence. In my situation, the price of the shipping and the prices of the item was not good. But in general, for this shop, considering they do everything by the case, yes, the prices of the items and the prices of the shipping is fair and reasonable. Variety and presentation. They don't have a lot of variety. They primarily have, as I said, the hard candy, the real sugary candy, Jolly Ranchers, lollipops, Skittles, all those candy, those kind of loose candies that go in jars. They don't have a lot of chocolate or licorice or alternatives. And they don't have any options for anything less than a full case. So the variety is lacking. So they're not going to get that half star. The presentation, there is no presentation. He basically puts the box in front of the camera, tells you what's in it. Okay, this has 6 bags of this, 12 bags of that, 4 bags of this, 5 boxes of that. He doesn't give you expiration dates. He doesn't let you know if they're still in date or not, or if they're close to date, which is something when you're selling perishables, it's required by Whatnot that you do that. He did not do that. He went very fast. He did not yell at anybody or encourage anybody to spend. He simply just, what you saw is what you got, and you got no other information. And sometimes he didn't even say how many was in the box. He just said a case full of this, and he would show you what's in the box. You didn't know how many you were getting. So presentation, not there. Seller attitude, kind of on the fence about that. He was polite. He was courteous. He moved quickly enough that you weren't waiting to see too long what the next case would be, because he had all the cases lined up behind him, and then as he sold them, he set them off to one side. The ones that didn't sell, he set them off to the other side. So he was very organized. He had the right attitude about being in front of that camera and moving through in such a way that it was comfortable to be there. You didn't feel rushed, but in the same sense, you didn't feel like things were lagging and dragging, and you wanted him to move on to the next thing as quickly as possible. His personality was kind of flat, kind of monotone, but there's nothing wrong with that. He was not very bubbly or not very outgoing like a lot of us like to see people that show some personality. He didn't really show his personality, but in the same instance, he wasn't hurt or rude or abrupt or anything along those lines. So I think he has the right attitude to be in front of the camera. He just needs to work on some other things about his presentation and his variety. So I'm going to give him a full star for seller attitude. So how does Candybundlez rack up to the criteria? They get a solid 4 stars. This is not a new shop. They've been around for a long time. I've been watching them for quite a while, a couple of months. And unfortunately, haven't seen any change in the variety and presentation, no matter which show I watch or what time of day I watch or what day of the week I watch. I haven't seen any improvement in that area. So that's where the star is missing, a half star for variety and a half star for presentation. Now, if you are a wholesaler, excuse me, and you want to offer candy, well, this shop might work out for you because they do these preset bundles. And when you break them down, you might be able to say, okay, well, instead of me paying $5.99 each for a bag, I paid $4.99 each for a bag. I paid $5, but can you sell them for more than $5 and not hit retail? Whatnot is not a retail site. Whatnot is an auction site, and by definition, that usually means a discount, a deep discount off of actual value. It's not like we're talking antiques here. That's a little different type of auction. But when you're talking about just a regular buyer, seller, consumer auction, general auction, it should be a deep discount. The deep discounts are not there with this shop. So if you are a reseller, you may find something that suits your needs. Maybe you're a shop owner and you want a case of lollipops to put out for your customers. Maybe you have a hair salon or a barber shop or, a kid's place, whatever, and you want to put something on by your cash register, to give. Then you can get these. That might be a great deal for you. So I'm not writing them off. They're not for everybody. They're not for the small consumer like you and I, for individuals. But shop owners, resellers, retailers might be an option for you. Either way, go check them out. Okay? All right. The next order is too big. Hold on. I got to figure out how I am going to do this. I got to move this box down. This is the box that I got from Twinxandy, right up there. $9.21 for this entire box. Are you ready to see what's in here? Because I got to tell you, there's a lot. Anthony's girls are going to be set for a long time. I did just communicate with him because his birthday was yesterday, I think. Yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. I lose track of the days because I have so much going on. But I had wished him happy birthday, and he's doing great. I'm thrilled with how his career path has gone. So this is from whatnot.com. Twinxandy. This is another order from the place and I know a lot of you have gone there and shopped and you are loving it. The show was on February 17th. I received these on February 23rd. Guys, they are in New Jersey. All right. This was a late night show, like 7:30, 8:30 at night, my time. So it was like an hour later, Eastern time zone. The host, primarily behind the camera, his name is Harry, Harry. Sweetheart, very personable guy. What they've been doing lately, he actually does 2 different types of show. He does what he calls piece show, where I get pieces, 2, 3 of this, 3 or 4 of a kind, 1 of a kind, individual things where you can pick and choose. Okay. And then he also has a separate show where he does wholesale, where he will give you a case. Maybe you get a big case of something that there's 100 or 200 of them in there, and he will give you 4 bulk items. They're basically big bulk items. 4 bulk items for a shipping of $9.21. And these items are going to be heavier than 5 pounds. And you remember, candy's not light. So he has the 2 shows. He has his warehouse bulk item show, and then he has his sit down behind the camera where you see his smiling face, pieces show. So this is from a pieces show. Let's take a look at what I got, because I got to tell you, I got a lot. I have gotten a lot to share, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. All right. First thing I got was Reese's Thins. Have you had these? Reese's Thins. These are really good if you want a taste of Reese's, but you don't want the full-size cup or anything bigger than that. They are not individually wrapped, but they do all have their paper wrapping around them. Everything that you get at the site at Harry's shop is within date, and it's not even close. He will give you the expiration date and let you know how much room it has. He'll tell you when it expires, so you don't ever have to worry, and you can always ask, because when he puts something up, he tells you what he's putting up, how many you're getting for the price, if he's doing a flash sale on them, or if he's running them at a set price. These were run at a set price. 2 bags for $2, $1 a bag. These sell for $3.79 per bag in most stores. Even in Dollar General, they sell for $2.89 a bag in Dollar General, but $1 a bag is all Harry is. So we got a great deal on those. Who doesn't love Thins? Have you ever had the Thins? I love the Thins. All right, let's go on to the next item. Oh, Twizzlers. Twizzler nibs. Little itty bitty bite size Twizzlers. And these are the king size. I believe these are, yep, these are the cherry flavored. Now, in case you guys didn't realize it, Twizzlers comes in cherry and strawberry, and they also do black licorice, and I think there's a couple other that they do, but I don't see the cherry nibs very often. So these little nibs, he sold these, 2 of them for $2, $1 a bag. These retail, and this size bag is 4.28 ounces. These retail for $3 a bag. That's crazy. Simply because they're licorice, it's pre-cut, but $1 a bag, that's a steal. And he sold them in a 2-pack. That's typically how he will do his smalls, that he has a little display thing in front, and he'll either put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many he lines up on it. That's what you're getting for that particular bid. So you know right off the bat how many that you're going to get. And if you've ever bought any of these things, you know what they cost, right? Okay. So Hearts. Reese's Hearts. Guys, if you haven't had these are yummy. The chocolate inside of this is a little different because it's more of the peanut butter cream on the inside is not your typical Reese cup cream. These taste a little different. And trust me, I did a taste test. These are individually wrapped. They do come wrapped in foil. It's just like you see right here. They do come wrapped in foil. It is a 9.1 ounce bag. I got this for $3. Not a big savings, but typically these sell for $4.97 in the store. The cheapest I found them was $4.89 at Dollar General. At Walmart, they're $4.97. At Amazon, they're even higher. But I got them for $3, so it was a little bit of a savings. Okay. But it was nice to be able to buy just one bag, right? Are you keeping count of how much stuff is coming out of this box? And this was all for $9.21 shipping. All right. Let's get down to the next thing before I go into those. Come out wherever you are. 4 bags. Reese's dipped pretzels. I think Reese's is dipping everything they can into their chocolates, which is okay by me. It's okay by me. These were sold in packs of 2. The dipped pretzels. Now, 2 of them for $3. So I paid $6 for the 4 packs. These retail for $5.20 each, depending on where you shop. $5.20 each. The cheapest place I found was $2.60, half price basically, for one of these bags. But I got 2 for $3, so I paid $1.50 a bag versus the absolute bottom price I could find of $2.60. That was still a savings. That was almost half off. So I got 4 bags for $6 as opposed to 4 bags for $10 or more. That's a good savings. I like that. Okay, what else we got in here? Oh, wait till you see these. You a Hershey lover? Hershey milk chocolate bars. Standard size bars. Not your oversized one. These are the regular ones that we grew up on. 4 of them. Who doesn't love Hershey's? Especially my favorite thing, like a Hershey's and or a Kit Kat, is that you can break them apart and you don't have to eat the whole thing all at once. When you want just a little bite or a little taste of chocolate and not be overwhelming. And their chocolate is really, really good. And he did have the dark chocolate. He had the dark chocolate. He had the milk chocolate, which is my favorite. And I'll show you what else he had. But these regular Hershey ones, let me find them on my list here. 4 for $4. So $1 a bar is what I paid for these. Typically in the store, this size bar goes for $2.50 each. And they usually have these, like, up by the register on a shelf where you can grab them on your way out. You can get packs of them that are pre-packaged with the cardboard behind them. But $1 a piece versus $2.50 a piece, that's less than half price for a chocolate bar. Oh, I'm not out of stuff yet, guys. You keeping track of this? Yeah. This is a lot. I also got 3 Hershey's with almonds. Standard size bars, 3 Hershey with almonds, $1 per bar. Now these typically, wherever I look to find them, the lowest price I found them was $1.82 per bar. And I got them for $1 a bar. Almost half off. But a couple places that I went to had these Hershey's almonds for almost $2.50 a bar. So $1 a bar is a good deal. So he has the almonds, the regular bars in milk chocolate, and he has the regular bars in dark chocolate. So if you are a Hershey lover, you pretty much have your pick, right? And yes, he has Hershey Kisses, big bags. Hershey Kisses that he typically sells in his wholesale, his bundle show. Every once in a while, I'll ask him, I'm like, hey, I wasn't able to get this in the bundle show. Can I get it in this particular show? Sometimes he'll say yes, sometimes he'll say no. But he does tend to spoil me because he knows I'm kind of a regular customer. He did see the review I did about him. He didn't know I had a YouTube channel and that I was going to review him. But he was very happy. You know, we do communicate back and forth as to different things to do with his show, as to what he can do, what might help, what's not beneficial. So he's very open and he's very easy to communicate with. So, guys, if there is something that you're looking for, just ask him. Okay? All right. Swedish fish. Another type of licorice. I know a lot of you out there actually love licorice. I tried to get a variety. What I would like to do for Easter is I would like to do a candy giveaway. A variety of things. So I'd like you to pay attention, obviously, to all the different things that I'm showing you, because the candy box that I fill and then give that to someone is going to have the candies of your choice in it. Might be pound of candy, might be more. Okay, Swedish fish. Three of these boxes for $2. Now, the 3 boxes would typically retail for a total of $7.50. But I got all 3 of these for $2. And these are the assorted. And you see the assorted? All the different flavors. It has a little where you open it here on the side. I don't know if it tells you the flavors that are in here. It just says assorted. I don't know if it's assorted flavors or assorted colors. Don't know. Don't know. But $3 for $2 versus 3 boxes for $7.50. Swedish fish. If you like licorice, most everybody has had at least the red Swedish fish. Okay, we're going in. Oh yeah, there's more. Did you think I was done? No. My fob is going back and forth again. One of you, I have to stop and tell you, gave me an absolute chuckle. Said that you were watching my last video and you spent a few minutes trying to blow speck off your phone, only to realize that it was the ceiling fob hanging back and forth. But the ceiling fob wasn't moving in that particular video. It was just kind of hanging there. So it gave me a really good chuckle at a time I needed a chuckle. Thank you very much for that. You know who you are. I love that. And I've had people say that they were yelling at the computer for me to watch out because there was a spider coming down from the ceiling and it was right above my head. That's the pull chain for my ceiling fan. It is kind of funny. I should put some bling on it. Oh, I don't know. That might reflect in the camera. Okay, anyway. Crunchy Reese's mini cups. Mini cups full of peanuts. The crunchies. $2 for this bag. This bag typically sells for $4.84. It's 9.6 ounces. I have no idea how many are in here, but they call it a share pack. There's a lot. If I had to go by feeling, I would say there's probably about a quarter of a pound in here, easily. But that's a pretty good deal. $2 for something that normally costs $4.84. We're getting there. All right. Let's get into these. Reese Pieces. Why did I get these? Yes, I did get these from me because I like to make cookies. And instead of putting chocolate chips in them all the time, I like to put Reese Pieces in them. So I got 2 bundles, total of 6. Each bundle of the pieces was 3 for $2. And yes, I have a cheat sheet down here that I'm looking at because I can't remember all this. 3 of them for $2. These typically will retail for $2 a bag sometimes. It's ridiculous how expensive the Reese Pieces are getting. Or maybe once in a while you can find them at $1 a bag. But I got 3 of them for $2. 3 for $2 in this bundle as well. And as I said, average cost $2 for one of these. And guys, these are great to bake with. You can, contrary to popular opinion, you can mix them right into your batter. The color will not come off of them during the baking process. Or when your cookies are almost done, when they have maybe 5 minutes left to go, pull them out. Just press some of these down into the top of your cookies, put them back into the oven and let them finish for the last few minutes. I just put them right into the batter. This is a great way to take a chocolate chip cookie and turn it into almost a chocolate chip cookie with the chocolate and the peanut butter together. I mean, just cakes, cookies, cupcakes, brownies, anything you bake, you can put these in. I don't know if I'm going to share those. I probably will. You know me, I share everything. All right, let's keep going. Oh my God. Okay, I got to get down to these. This is a pound of Twizzlers peel and chew. What do they call these? They have a name. Pull and peel. Cherry flavored pull and peel. They are individual twists in the cherry flavored that, because they're kind of wrapped like a rope together, you can peel off pieces of the rope. This is a full pound for $4. These typically sell for $9.99. This is better than half price off. And there's a lot of pieces in here. If I had to guess, I say there's at least 35, maybe even 40 pieces in here. That's a lot. A full pound of these. A pound, right? $4. And these I can share. So if you're interested in having some of those in an Easter basket, we're going to talk about that at the end of this so I can start preparing. If that's okay with you. Okay. More trees. More trees. These are all good till August of 2026. August of 2026. And this is one thing I love about this shop. He will always give you the expiration dates. If he doesn't, before he runs it, you can say, hey, what's the expiration dates or what's the best buy date on these things? These are the trees. These trees are each a half pound. 2 of these for $5. Typically, one of these is $7.95. But I got one of these for $2.50. These go a long way as well, guys. And all this stuff, Twizzlers, Sweetest Fish, all the chocolates, even the things with the pretzels or the cookies, they can all be frozen. And I plan on putting quite a bit of them into my freezer to set aside for Anthony to make like a little, to help him make an Easter basket for his daughters. He's such a good friend and he's just so supportive. Okay. We're almost at the bottom. Almost. Let me take the last stuff out of the box. All right. Box is empty. I'm going to put it over there. It's empty for now. I opened up one of these because I wanted to show you. But this is what I have. Half-pound cup. This is one giant, cuttable, shareable Reese cup. I have 4 of them. Here's the first 3. I'm going to move these out of the way. And then I took one out of the box so that you can see this is how it comes. And this, you can clearly feel it. It does have the cardboard backing on it, but it is just one. Can you see the shape in there? It is just one round giant cup. It's a half-pound. I got 4 of these. Each of these I got for $2.80. Each of these typically sell for $14.99. You go out in the store or on Amazon for the half-pound Reese giant cup. And the cheapest I found it, I think, was at Target for $12.99. On Amazon, it was $14.99. In the grocery store, they're between $12 and $14, unless they're getting close to age and they mark them down. But I got each of them for $2.80. So it's like getting all 4 of them for less than what one would cost. Roughly 4 of them for about $12 versus one of them for $15. That's a deal you just can't pass up. That's a deal. Had to get them. Had to get them. And I got those with Anthony and his daughters in mind. One for me, and then one for him, and one for each of his daughters. And of course, he can freeze them, and he can dole them out, and he can decide how much they get and when they get it. But it's just a fun thing to get something that big, right? Okay. And the last thing was a gift from Harry to me. And this is a pound of 0 sugar Reese cups, mini Reese cups, a full pound. This was a thank you gift because so many of you went there after seeing the video review of his shop. You went there, you purchased. One of you actually broke my record. If you remember in my video, I had like 17 pounds with $9.21 shipping. I think one of you, Susan, I think it was you, had something like over 30 pounds of candy with $9.21 shipping for all of that. So you had something like 3 or 4 boxes delivered to you, but your total shipping was only $9.21. That's what Harry does. But he gifted me this because he knows these are my favorite, and this is a candy that I keep for myself because there's 0 sugar. A whole pound of this. Guys, this pound is worth $13.95. That's a generous seller. That's a seller who appreciates his customers. He appreciates the business we all bring him. So, needless to say, Twinxandy is still going to be getting 5 stars. He has improved his show. Our communications have been great. He has made the improvements since he's made some changes and he started doing his warehouse show and then his separate smalls or pieces shows. His business is growing. So by all means, please go check him out. That whole big massive box, all that stuff. If I were to take $9.21 and divide it up over all those items, I'll put up here for you how many items I got and how that breaks down to the shipping cost per item. You can decide whether or not you think it's worth it. I think it's absolutely worth it. All right, so remember, his warehouse show is his bulk items where you can buy 4 bulk items for $9.21 shipping. Every 4 items will bundle. for bulk into a box. If you want to keep shopping, you start your $9.21 again for your next 4 bulk items. That's his warehouse show. And you won't see his face in the warehouse show because he's walking around and you will see how full his warehouse is. But you can still ask for whatever you want. Just keep in mind, the warehouse shows is not for individual pieces like this. It's for bigs. Like he'll do a 5-pound bag of kisses, or he'll do a 5-pound bag of some sort of lollipops I never even heard of. It's just his selection is outrageous. He's even got the lilies, which is I guess is some kind of a cookie that's dipped or whatever. I don't know. I only keep up with the stuff that I like to eat. So go check him out. And I don't remember what else I was going to tell you about. Oh, okay. On the lines of candy, let's shift over now to what's just around the corner. Okay. The first thing I want to catch up with you is Sunday, believe it or not, is March 1st. I cannot believe we've already gone through 2 months out of this year. Time is absolutely flying. So on Sunday, I am going to show you a little bit about what's been going around the corner. I did get a couple of plants in, not in the ground, but here, arrived. I received bell peppers and some seeds and that kind of stuff. I received another order from our family member, Darla, at Whatnot, Darla Weatherspoon 1. Absolutely love this particular item. And I cannot believe the steal I got on it, the deal that I got on it. So we'll be doing that on Sunday. Sunday, I'm also going to show you what is in the children's box. And I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't see it. All right. It's a big box. It's about almost this size. It's maybe about an inch or two shorter than that. It's a big box and it is full of things. And it is a generic children's box. However, whomever wins it, I can either add few girly things into it or a few little boy things into it. This is a box suitable for elementary school children or maybe middle school. Definitely not high school. This is for the youngins. So I can add some things in there. And if you'd like, if you've seen all the candy that I have, if you think your little one, whoever wins this box, if you think your little one would like any of this candy, I may surprise you and add a little bit to the box. Okay? All right. Now, the other Easter box that I just spontaneously decided to do is going to be a candy box for I'd like to think for the adults. For those of you like me who are out there living on a budget and we don't typically splurge or buy ourselves God, my hair's a hot mess this morning. Or buy ourselves candy or sweets, or maybe we just restrict them. It's not in our budget to get the good quality name brands things, and we always have to buy off brands. I would like to give you a little thank you and a little gift for everything that you do and create a small candy box. Nothing big, probably this size or maybe half this size. I don't know. So think of what you would like. You've seen the candy. Hopefully you've written it down. We've got the Twizzlers. We've got the chocolate bars. We've got the Swedish Fish. We've got the almond bars. We've got the 1-pound candies. We've got the pretzels. We've got the pretzel thins. We've got the licorice trees. What else do we have? We have the big licorice pull and peel ones. We have the crunch peanut butter cups. We have the hearts. We have the nibs. And I have other candy that's in the freezer that I had also gotten. I have candy corn. Some of you out there like me are fanatics for candy corn. I just sent one of you a separate envelope that has nothing in it but a bag of candy corn because I know you're a candy corn lover just like I am. So I just popped one in a bag and sent it out. So those are the types of things that you can request to be put into your bag or your box. And that's going to be a give you box. And I'm going to start the children's Easter box. I'm going to show that to you on Sunday. And then I'm going to separately start my subscriber giveaway. With both of these giveaways, the same rules apply. If you've ever won a giveaway before, you cannot enter in this one. You win once and you're done. Everybody else gets a chance, guys. I have over 3,900 viewers. So we need to give everybody a chance. I don't care where you live, in country, out of country, does not matter to me. You must be my subscriber. Okay. You won't pay for anything. You won't pay for shipping. Giveies are giveies. Okay. And I'm still working on the kitchen givey. Okay. Last thing. Let me move this out of the way. Okay. I want to give you an update on what's going on with the tiny home. In my last video, I let you know that I unfortunately do have to move. It's not a safe environment for me here. It's just not compatible. There are a lot of legalities and violations, instances that I've had to deal with since I got here. Personal injury, pain and suffering, property damages, violation of privacy, violation of my right to quiet enjoyment, which one of you let me know about that based on the circumstances, and I wasn't even aware of that. That's why I love having family members that are in all different walks of life. It's been a lot. It's been adding up. It's been a lot. And it's just, I don't see it improving. I don't see it changing. As recently as a week and a half ago, there was another instance that happened. So I'm just had it up to here, right? It's never easy when you feel that you finally found your forever place to realize that it's not. But when everything started happening back in December, well, October, November, December, but primarily in December, I did start looking to see where else I could put my tiny home. And one of the people that I reached out to was someone who has become a friend to me in the past year since I moved to this area. This individual owns private land, and it's not a community. It's not corporate owned. It is his private property. And lo and behold, is he not developing it specifically for tiny homes? It's a little closer to town. It's about 5 miles closer to town. So it's about half the distance from where I am now to town. It's like cutting that distance in half, which makes town much more accessible, which is wonderful. It's also close to a few places that I do like to go, that I like to frequent to either stop and pick up things or grab a quick bite to eat if I'm on the road. Yeah, it's very convenient. I did go and see it yesterday. He had given me directions as to where it was. I went to see it yesterday, and I got to tell you guys, I pulled up into the space and looked at the land, and I stood there and I closed my eyes and I heard nothing but birds. I could not hear the traffic. I couldn't hear any neighbors. I couldn't hear any businesses. I couldn't hear any cars going down the side street, which is not a real busy street. It was quiet. It was peaceful. Very beautifully treed. It's a gorgeous treed piece of property. I looked around and I could see exactly where I would love to have my tiny nestled. So he came to the house yesterday and we had a conversation. And I'm telling you, the types of things that we discussed are only the types of things that people who are serious about an arrangement all right, are going to discuss. We talked about what it would be monthly. Would he be willing to do a long-term rental contract to lock me into a fixed monthly rate for, say, 3 to 5 years without increases, but a guarantee of income for him and a guarantee of rate for me being on a fixed income? We talked about the utilities, the infrastructure that he is installing and how that would work, what bills would be included with the rent or not included with the rent. We talked about the size of the spaces. The size of the space he's offering me is double. Yes, Nolly, it's a good thing. Double what I have here, twice the size. What am I allowed to do with it? Put a shed on it, put a carport on it, have a giant flower garden, vegetable garden, customize my driveway. Anything that I want to do that would be an improvement and an enhancement to the site. And obviously, no, you don't want your site to be cluttered or full of trash or junk cars or things like that. But he already knows me and he knows how I keep my site. And he was excited that I had an interest in moving on to his property. He looked at Nolan, he looked at me, he said, I would be thrilled to have the two of you come and join me on the land as his first resident. So now, that being said, keep in mind, it's going to take me the better part of a year, or at least a year, to save up the funds that I need to move my tiny home. It's not cheap. It's about $5,000 just for the house, even though we're only talking about a 5-mile trip maybe between the two places. But taking apart the skirt and putting the wheels back on and dropping the house onto the wheels and hooking up the tongue and all that other kind of stuff, disconnecting the utilities, everything that they have to do, that adds up. And then separately, I have to transport my shed, my fencing, my lamp post, my barbecue, all that outside big stuff. So I'm looking between $5,000 and $7,000 to make this move. Well, that's going to take some time to save that up. I'll do the best I can. Hopefully, I can get it done within a year. But the timing is perfect because his infrastructure is not going to be ready and inspected for about that same time frame. Right now, he's doing the access roads, he's putting in the drain pipes and the septic system. Then, of course, he has to run all the water, the electrical underground, and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot to do to develop land. It's a lot. So that's what he's working on. The timing is going to work out perfect. I let him know. I said, look, I thought he was ready. And I let him know, I'm like, I'm not going to be ready for about a year. I got to save up for this. He goes, that's okay. He says, I won't be ready for you for about a year. So we're both very excited about these possibilities. We are going to talk about it more in about a month. I didn't take any pictures out there yesterday because when I was out there, it was close to dusk and I did not want to be out at dark because obviously there's no lighting out there whatsoever. So the next time I go out to take a look, I'll do it during the daytime and I'll provide you with pictures. And then I will keep you posted on what we're doing just around the corner. Yeah, this shit's about to get real. Sorry. But in the meantime, I have decided to keep my distance completely from management here. No emails, no phone calls, no communications unless they initiate a communication. If I have an issue here, I will take care of it myself and I will record it, keep a record of it. And so far, guys, you know how I am. I have records of emails, text, photos, videos, my medical records, all kinds of communication and documentation for everything that's been going on. I even have my airline ticket from when I had to be pushed through the airport in a wheelchair because of the injury to my foot that happened here on my site. I couldn't even walk through the airport. So I have everything documented and I'm kind of glad that I do. So that's where we're at. Questions, queries, posers, anything you'd like to add, ask about? put them down below in the comments. But in the meantime, give a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hype this. Share this video. The Battle of the Bundles, who do I think won? Hands down, I think it's Twinxandy that won the Battle of the Bundles. If you're a retailer, then go check out Twinxandy wholesale warehouse shop, and you might get on board with them as well. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. You're going to get all sorts of stuff, this, that, and the other thing, and you get to hear my little protector in action. Isn't she adorable? Stay hydrated. Above all else, please, stay sweet. And we'll see you on Sunday, where you get your first glimpse at the children's Easter giveaway box. Bye, y'all.